Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 50th episode of TomTalks. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I can't believe I made through 50 episodes of this podcast so far. There might be I want to say that there are big changes coming, but I'm not sure because I'm actually moving out in the next couple of weeks, so there might be a little bit of a break afterwards. After this episode, there's probably going to be another couple of weeks off. I probably won't have another episode until I'm moving out to the end of February, so I might have time to record one more episode, but definitely not until won't be coming back till at least March, middle of March after I have everything set up. I've got big plans. I'm buying my cousin's gaming PC, so I'll be streaming on Twitch, or at least I hope to be if I have the right parts. But yeah, I know I keep saying it, but it's going to happen. I will be a part-time Twitch streamer. Be streaming a bunch of stuff, NFL stuff, NBA stuff, sports talk, and game stuff. So we can talk about all that fun shit there on Twitch as well as here on YouTube. Honestly, and I'll just dump the VODs from Twitch onto my YouTube channel. But anyway, before we talk about the Super Bowl. Before we talk about Super Bowl 57, my Philadelphia Eagles are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go over the NFL honors first. Just because I want to fill some time. I don't want to just go right into the Super Bowl episode. Otherwise it won't be that long. So we have NFL honors. The award show at the end of the year. Before the Super Bowl. It used to be on the Saturday before. Now it's, for whatever reason, they decided to do it on a Thursday. Sorry, that's my phone. So let's start right here. MVP. Nobody's surprised that Patrick Mahomes is the MVP of the league. Jalen Hurts, I don't know what the voting is. I don't know if they have it on here. It doesn't look like they do. But yeah, anyway. So I know it was Burrow, Allen, Hurts, and Justin Jefferson. They were the other four competitors for the MVP. But no one's surprised that Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. It says right there, 5250 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, and 67% completion percentage of his passes. And he did it in a year that the Chiefs traded away Tyreek Hill. So that by itself is more than impressive. I mean, no one's doubting that Mahomes wouldn't win another MVP or a couple more MVPs in his career, but without Tyreek Hill, we all thought it was gonna be a lot harder because it was just gonna be just Kelsey, but no, a lot of other people stepped up. They got Tony, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marcus Valdes-Scantling, MVS. He's a solid receiver. I like him a lot for them, but yeah, so all those players helped him win MVP. So now let's go over to the next award. Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa. Not surprising, led the year 18.5 sacks, and he also won Rookie of the Year in 2019. But it's funny because he won I know these are for regular season, but I feel like they should include playoffs stats as well when it comes to these awards. But because he didn't do shit against the only thing he did against the Eagles was in the NFC title game was he almost got a safety. That's the one thing he did in that game. And other than that, both Lane Johnson and Joel Mailata shut his ass down. But anyway, moving on, Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson, obviously almost had 2,000 passing yards. He made Kirk Cousins look great. 128 catches, 1,809 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Wow, only 8 touchdowns. Honestly, that shocks me. Only 8 touchdowns. But he won this award. He won moment of the year with the crazy catch with against the Bills. But yeah, Justin Jefferson, he's arguably the best receiver in the league. It's like him and Jamar Chase are 1 and 2. Even though there is still D-Hop, there's still my guy A.J. Brown. He's definitely moved up the ranks in the top 5, top 10. Tyreek Hill is still up there, but, clearly Jefferson has made the case, at least for this year, that he is the best wide receiver in the league. Now, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson. I think they made the correct choice with Offensive Rookie of the Year. 83 passes for for 1,100 yards. And it was really smart of them. I think the voters did right by voting for Garrett Wilson because he worked with at least 3 different quarterbacks, I believe. Yeah, he worked with 3 quarterbacks this year. He worked with Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, and Mike White. And he still put up those numbers. He became a reliable he's a reliable receiver for them. I think he is their best receiver. He's the Jets' best receiver going into next year, and he's only going to get better from here. And Ahmad Sauce Gardner wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was a baller, dude. Him and Aiden Hutchinson. I thought Aiden Hutchinson was going to win it because he did really well for the Detroit Lions, but that's not surprising. The Jets have their best corner since Darrelle Revis, who just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. But yeah, from the games I've seen of Sauce Gardner, he dominated. He did very well this year, and he dominated as a defensive back. Comeback Player of the Year, Geno Smith. I think this was the wrong award for him to win, only because for some reason they lumped him in with players who were hurt and then came back at great years, like Christian McCaffrey and who am I blanking? Who else was in that category? I forget who was. It was Christian McCaffrey and it was somebody else. I'm blanking on his name. Was it Saquon? Yeah, it was Saquon. Him and Saquon. Those two were the other contenders for Comeback Player of the Year. And honestly, it should have been. He should not have been in this award category. It should have been Brandon Graham, who tore his Achilles last year, and he got a career high in sacks this year with 11, I believe, in the regular season. Geno Smith should win Most Improved Player. There should be the Most Improved Player award. I don't want to take it away from him. He had a great season, but this shouldn't be the award he wins. And now everyone's favorite coach, Brian Daboll, which was absolute bullshit, only because 2 reasons. A, Doug Peterson should have won Coach of the Year for taking the worst team in the NFL to bring them all the way to the divisional round of the playoffs. And my guy Nick Sirianni wasn't even nominated for this award, which is 110% bullshit that he wasn't even nominated. That pisses me off. We had the best team in the league this year. For the majority of the year, we had the best team of the year. Lost a couple of games, but he still kept our players motivated. And I understand, and I think they only picked Daboll because of the New York connection. Oh, we gotta they're like a cornerstone. Oh, we gotta put fucking Giants on the map. We gotta make them look good as much as we can. They're sort of like the Cowboys in the fact that they need to look good. The NFL needs to make them look good no matter what, in my opinion. Because there was a lot of disrespect to the Eagles last night, especially Kelly Clarkson's ass. She wore that ugly-ass, disgusting-ass Cowboys dress, and she made nothing but bad cracks out against the Eagles the entire fucking night, and she tried to back it up with, oh, you're just jealous, you're not Cowboys fans, you hate us because you ain't us, or whatever bullshit she said. So fuck Kelly Clarkson. Now, she was not that good of a host. I'm sorry. She's not that good of a host. I don't give a shit if it makes me sound sexist. I really don't care. She sucked. So let's move. Rant over. Let's go on to defend the assistant coach of the year, D'Amico Ryans. That should have been obvious. He was the best defensive coordinator in the game. Now he's the head coach of the Houston Texans. Hopefully they don't fire his ass after 1 year. And I don't think there's any more, but this might be the one-paid man of the year, Dak Prescott. A lot of great people. There are a lot of great people up for this award. This is not really an award that I'm not gonna be mad whoever wins, but because they all do great charity work for different causes, different foundations, or whatever. So I believe Andrew Whitworth won it last year for his work off the field. And so now Dak Prescott won it this year. So congratulations to Dak. Good for him for winning Walter Payton Man of the Year. So all right, this is what I didn't see. FedEx Aaron Ground Players of the Year: Joe Burrow and Josh Jacobs. I believe Jacobs won the. That was a dumb celebration. The roller coaster celebration, that was dumb. I just talked about the moment of the year: 4th down catch versus the Bills. I'm not gonna replay that only because I don't want to get copyright stricken. All those are fantastic play. And what I care about most is the Hall of Fame class. Rondé Barber finally got in. Zach Thomas finally got in. And Demarcus Ware was his second time. He had to wait his second year, but good for Demarcus Ware for getting in. I already said Zach Thomas. Joe Thomas and Joel Rivas were no doubt first ballot Hall of Famers. And then I already said Zach Thomas. I love Zach Thomas. I'm glad he's finally in. Ken Riley, and Joe Klecko are the only. Joe Klecko and Chuck Halley were the only three I'm not really sure about. I have to really look them up again. And Don Coryell, who's no longer with us, apparently he was the founder of the Eric Coryell offense. That's what they named after in the 80s for the San Diego Chargers. So Dan Fouts, he basically gave Dan Fouts his Hall of Fame career. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players and coaches. And other people involved in the game. So congratulations to the class of 2023. As much as I hate Rondé Barber, he can go fuck himself because of 2002. And I hated DeMarcus Ware when he was a Dallas Cowboy. I loved him as a Bronco. He was a menace to wreck with. But now, anyway, let's move on. Let's go to the Super Bowl. Let's break down all the positions first. They have the position breakdowns real quick. Let's do that. So obviously the two number one seeds are in the Super Bowl. The two best teams obviously made it to the Super Bowl. Chiefs and Eagles, they were both very great during the most of the year. The only really downside for the Eagles was near the end of the year, end of December, early January, when Jalen Hurts got hurt, Mahomes got hurt. The Chiefs didn't really have like a little slump. They did lose to the Bengals, and they lost the Colts, Bengals, and who else did they lose to before? Oh, it's the Bills early in the year. But they didn't slump like the Eagles did. So, but that doesn't matter now. We're here now. We're here in the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna shit talk on the Chiefs because they're a very good football team. They obviously deserve to be where they're at. And especially with Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league, finally beat Joe Burrow. Quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. Obviously, Mahomes is the best in the league. But Jalen Hurts is not. I don't think he is not that far behind him. He is very close. I wouldn't say very close, but he's definitely he's elevated himself to the top 10, arguably top 5 of this year. And if Hurts didn't have injured his shoulder, I think he would have won MVP. Either he would have won MVP or it would have been a lot closer to decide. But still, Chiefs still have the advantage with quarterback. Now, running back. They have Isaiah Pacheco, Jared McKinnon, Ronald Jones. They also have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's going to be playing in the game. I don't know how much more he's going to play, but he's going to be in the game at least. He is active for the game. Our running backs are obviously Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, and Boston Scott. I love all three of them. And honestly, they say it's an even push, which I would have to agree, but I would give us a slight edge only because I like Miles Sanders a lot more than Isaiah Pacheco. And I like Kenneth Gainwell more than I like Jared McKinnon. Although Jared McKinnon he's a better pass catcher than Kenneth Gainwell. But we have Boston Scott as our pass catcher. I mean, honestly, all of our running backs can catch the football and run with it, but Jared McKinnon is the best of that. He's the most versatile of all the running backs right now. But overall, as a group, I know I sound biased, but I don't care. I still think our running back group has a slight edge over the Chiefs. Just barely edge. And Miles Sanders had his best year this year, and I expect him to do more in the Super Bowl. And now let's move on to wide receivers. They have Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Kadarius Toney. Juju and Toney are both somewhat injured, but they're still going to be active for the game. And Devontae Smith apparently had a migraine today, but I think he's going to be okay for the game. AJ Brown and Quez Watkins. Obviously, I think we definitely have the advantage over the Chiefs when it comes to wide receivers. When it comes wide receivers talent wise, and if I would have been more scared of the Chiefs if they kept Tyreek Hill, but that would not have been possible. But I really see either AJ Brown or Devontae. One of these two are gonna go off and have a huge fucking game. I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure which one they're going to focus their attention on more. Whether it would be AJ, I think it will be AJ Brown. So that will leave Devontae Smith to possibly have a bigger game, and also with Dallas Goedert. But we're going to go talk about the Titans in a second. So yeah, I definitely think we have the more advantage over as a wide receiver core. Tight ends, I would definitely say Chiefs. I love Dallas Goedert, but Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the league. That's without a question. He's still in his prime, and he is definitely working up his way to be the greatest tight end to have ever played the game. I don't think he's better than Gronk as of right now. Gronk is the most dominant tight end that I've ever seen play in the NFL. But he is definitely Kelce. If he puts up another year like this, another 110, 1,400, 12 touchdowns, I would definitely say Travis Kelce will surpass Rob Gronkowski as the greatest tight end to play the game. So edge, I will give them to the Chiefs. I don't know what they say. Chiefs, I agree with that, but I'm curious to see what they say at offensive line. I think we have a better offensive line, even though the Chiefs are just as good. Their offense, like Orlando Brown, I like Orlando Brown Jr. a lot. Joe Tooney a lot. Creed Humphrey, I love their left side, but I love our left side too. Our left side is just as good, and our right side is much better. Lane Johnson is the best right tackle in the game. So I would give our offensive line just a slight edge and this is me not being biased, I want to give our offensive line a slight edge because of Lane Johnson being the best right tackle in the game. Jason Kelce is still the best center in the game, and Lane Johnson's playing with a hurt fucking groin. Not hurt, a torn groin, excuse me. Mailata is emerging as one of the best left tackles in the game, and Leonard Dickerson is a great guard. And I think Sid Mile is very underrated. He doesn't get talked about a lot, so they say even. I'm going to give us the slight edge, even though I think Orlando Brown Jr. is a monster, and I think he'll be. Orlando Brown Jr. protecting Patrick Mahomes will be the key for the game. Defensive line, they're talking about the tackles. They're talking about Hargrave. We have Hargrave, Cox, Milton Williams, Linval Joseph, and also Ndamukong Suh. Don't forget him. Chiefs have Chris Jones, obviously one of the best, arguably the best tackle in the game this year. Definitely this year. Saunders, Nandi, and Williams. They say even. I'm going to give us the slight edge again. Only because we have more rotation power. Plus, Hargrave can go off at any time. Fletcher Cox can go off at any time. Sue can go off. Honestly, any of all these guys can go off at any time. And we have a better run-stuffing defense. And, I forgot to mention Jordan Davis, who drafted as a rookie, is obviously our best run stuffer. Middle of the year, our run defense sucked because Jordan Davis was out for 4 weeks. They say even, but I disagree with them. Defensive end edge, obviously us. Hassan Reddick he should have been up for Defensive Player of the Year, even though he got more first place votes than Micah Parsons. But anyway, 16.5 sacks, totaling 19.5 sacks, 6 forced fumbles, including the playoffs in his first year with the Philadelphia Eagles. And honestly, Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham are game changers. They can do whatever the hell they want. We have our Robert Quinn as a reserve. We also have, I would say Derek Barnett, but he's still hurt. Who else am I thinking of? Who starts for him? I'm blanking right now, but anyway. They have Frank Clark, who's still pretty good. Carl Loftus is a solid rookie, and Dunlap is past his prime, but he can still make a couple of plays every now and again. Honestly, I think we're the best. We have the much better pass rush. Linebackers, they say even. Nick Bolton is a monster. I agree with that. He's a really good middle linebacker. But TJ Edwards and Kaiser White, they played phenomenal this year. They were able to step up. They were better at stopping the run, and they were better at tackling. They were better at defending tight ends, defending the receivers, tight ends, and running backs as well. So I would say give us the slight edge, but I agree with them. They're saying it's even. Now defensive backs, they have a lot of rookies in their defensive backfield, both corner and safety. But we have the best corner duo in the league, and Avonte Maddox is arguably the best slot corner in the league. So give us the advantage over when it comes to two cornerbacks. Excuse me. Slay and Bradbury are going to shut down the receivers, and Maddox is going to do his thing. I'm not worried about that outside at all. Safeties will give us the advantage. Definitely going to give us the advantage. CJ Gardner-Johnson is a monster. He's been a great pickup this year. He ties the league in the NFL with 6 interceptions. Reed Blankenship stepped up big time when CJ was out. Marcus Epps did okay, and Justin Reed is the only solid defensive back that they really have. And I mean, I like L'Jarius Sneed, but Justin Reed is clearly better, and he's the only really good defensive back that they have. So I'm not too particular. They say even, but they're absolutely 100% wrong. I am not worried about. We have definitely have the advantage on the defensive backs. And our receivers are going to kick ass this year. So hold on. Good one. Now special teams. That's the only thing I'm a little worried about. I mean, Jake Elliott, and Harrison Butker is a push. Harrison Butker was hurt for a little bit of the year, and that cost the Chiefs in some special teams plays. Sipos. Isn't Sipos playing? I'm not sure if he is. I thought I read something saying that he is going to play. I could be wrong, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I swore I read something that he was going to play in the Super Bowl, because Brett Kern has not been that great for us. He had a couple of solid games, but other than that, he did not really do that well. So I would give the Chiefs a slight advantage there, and but if Sipos returns, I think it'd be more of a push. And I'm not sure about Kadarius Toney as a punt returner, but Britton Covey has not been really that great. But we also have Boston Scott's return man too, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do for. I'm not sure what we're going to do when it comes to the returning games. But I'm gonna say it's an even push, and special teams will be important. Look at that. They say the final verdict, they give Eagles 3 advantages, Chiefs 2, and the rest is even. Let's see what they say as. Oh, they don't even give a score. Oh, that's dumb. They should give a score. This guy's a coward. Coaching. I mean, honestly, Andy Reid is a really good head coach. He was the coach of the Eagles for a long time, but he's not coached up well in the big moments in Philadelphia, and he didn't do that early on in his career in Kansas City. He's obviously done much better in these past few years, having one of the most dominating offenses in the league with Mahomes and Hill and Kelsey and all these other players who step up for them big time. Eric Bieniemy is a veteran offensive coordinator. Spags is a good defensive coordinator, but Gannon stepped up this year I would say Gannon's a better defensive coordinator than Spagnuolo this year, because we have a top 5 defense. They're not even in the top 10. Honestly, I don't think they're in the top half of the league when it comes to defense. I believe Chiefs offense is number 1. Not sure off the top of my head. And Steichen is number. I like Shane Steichen a lot. I think he's interviewing for the Colts head coaching job, and there's a good chance he might get it, unless Jim Irsay is just gonna say fuck it, I'm keeping Jeff on the staff as the head coach, which I don't know if that'd be a shock or just be like, it's really like a what the fuck kind of moment, but anyway, yeah, so Sirianni, Reed, I'd say it's a push. Steichen, Bieniemy, push. I mean, Steichen calls plays, Reed calls plays, so we'll see what happens. It's really a push with these two, and defensive coordinator, Gannon, definitely give the advantage to Jonathan Gannon over Steve Spagnuolo. And I know, and obviously, I know I'm an Eagles fan. I was doing my best not to be biased, and I don't think I was very biased at all. But my final prediction for the Super Bowl 57 will be the Philadelphia Eagles will win the Super Bowl. And the final score will be, I'm going to say fucking 34-21. No, 35. 35-24. That's my score. I was going to be corny and say 41-33 again, but I don't think that's going to happen. That would be insane in the membrane if that does happen, though. I believe we're still favored by 1.5, and the over/under, I believe, is 50. It's either 50 or 50.5. So I would take the Eagles. Take the Eagles and definitely go over if you're in the betting world. So this is going to conclude this episode. Go Birds, go Bird, and all I'm going to say is go Birds, go Birds, go Birds. Tom.